everyone, my name is Kat and this is Kat's Thread, where I talk about sustainable fashion, do sewing tutorials, and thrift flips. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create your own natural dye using just avocado pits and seeds. So this shirt used to be white, and you wouldn't think that using avocados to dye it would create this beautiful blush pink color that I'm really in love with. This is a super easy DIY project, and the great thing about natural dyes is that they're not toxic, they're not harmful to the environment, and they're made with things you would typically consider waste or just have lying around your house. I'm really excited to show you guys how to do this, so make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get into the video. The first thing you have to do is make sure you save the pits and seeds of about 3 to 5 avocados. I would save my avocados and keep them in a bag in the freezer until I had enough for dyeing. You want to scrape as much of the green avocado off, and I would run the skin and pits under water as we don't need that for dyeing. These are the two shirts I chose to dye for this video. This one is a thrifted Brandy Melville crop top, which is made of 96% cotton and 4% elastane. The cami is an old one from Forever 21, made with 95% cotton and 5% spandex elastane. So pretty similar materials, but the cami is a lot thinner than the other top. Both these shirts are a bit old, have some stains on them, and aren't a very nice looking white color anymore, which is why I wanted to dye them. Take your avocado skins and pits and put them in a pot that is large enough to contain whatever clothing item you want to dye. I rinsed these under water a couple of times to get as much of the excess avocado flesh out, although it's totally fine if there is some left on the avocados you are using. Then fill up the pot with water. I used about 24 cups or 1.5 gallons for about 4 avocados. We're going to put that on the stove and let it boil. While you're waiting for the water to boil, you want to soak your clothing in water so it soaks up the dye better. You can see this water is turning a nice orangey color and it's starting to simmer. We want to get it to a boil and then turn the heat down to a simmer for about 30 to 45 minutes. This is what the water looks like after about 20 minutes, so we still need to let it simmer a bit longer. I took out a bit of the avocado water and I'm going to try adding some baking soda into it, which makes the solution more alkaline, which is meant to make the solution a bit darker red color. And in this other one, I'm going to add some white vinegar, which will make the solution more acidic, which makes the solution more yellow or orange colored. Here you can see the different colors of the different solutions. The one on the left has baking soda, the middle is the original solution, and the right one has vinegar in it. So you can use these to adjust what shades you want your dye to be. After about 30 minutes, the water turns into a nice deep red color, almost the color of beets. I wanted a darker color dye, so I added 4 tablespoons of baking soda. And I'm going to put the lid back on and let it simmer for about 15 more minutes. Now it's been a total of 45 minutes and I'm taking out the avocados and pits and turning off the heat. We don't need these avocados anymore, so you can go ahead and compost or throw these out. Don't worry about getting all the pieces out of the water since we'll end up washing the shirt anyways. Then take your pre-soaked clothing, squeeze out the water and drop it into the dye. Use tongs to try to make sure that all of your fabric is covered in the dye for a nice even color. I'm using chopsticks here because I couldn't find my tongs at home. Now it's been about 3 hours and you can see that the color is already in the shirt and dyeing the fabric a light pink. You can really tell how red the water is, and I'm still going to leave this to soak overnight for a more deeper color. So it's been 24 hours and I'm gonna check on what the dyed shirts look like. So they look really red now. So they have been sitting in this pot for 24 hours. They look like a nice blush color, so what I'm gonna do now is move over to the sink and wash these out with cold water. I washed these out a bit, but then realized it'd be easier to get all the color out with the washing machine, so I tossed both of these shirts into the washing machine to make sure all of the color would be washed out. So I just took these out of the wash and the color is looking really nice, a nice blush pink. Even though they dyed the same amount of time, the Brandy Melville crop top is much darker while the cami is a very light pink. There is a bit of uneven dyeing on the cami, which may be due to just the way the fabric was sitting in the dye vat, so unfortunately that's something that could happen. However, if you're going for a tie-dye look, then these uneven splotches would be fine, and I know that this method definitely works well for tie-dye. I'm gonna let these air dry and then show you some videos of how the final product turned out. I'm really happy with how this turned out and that I was able to do it with avocados, which I already had around my house. You can use this to dye a bunch of other different things and for tie-dye as well. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing my cami like that, I was just trying out the Gen Z style, which I actually really like. So that's it. If you do end up trying this, make sure you tag me on Instagram at catsthread. And if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe or leave me a comment letting me know what you'd like to see next. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!